Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Flash Tutorials with Alan Becker. Guess what today's topic is? We are going to talk about shape tweens. Yay! So if you didn't see my previous tutorials, a tween is pretty much where you set the beginning and the end of an animation and the computer fills in what's in between. Right now we're going to talk about shape tweens. They're different from classic tweens and motion tweens because they do not require a symbol. They use vector shapes. So you can do many things with shape tweens, and I'll show you some examples. You can use a shape tween to control the shape of an object, like so. You can use it to control the color of an object, like so. And you can use it to change the position of an object, as well as the opacity of an object. So you can use any combination of any of these things. You can control or change something's shape, opacity, color, and position at the same time if you wanted to. But these are just showing you the different things you can do. So let's quickly run through how to do these different things. So, in my new document, I'm going to create a square. I'm going to get rid of this stroke because I don't like it. So, we're going to give it a new keyframe by hitting F6, and that gives us a new position, a new thing to work with. And how about we change this object's color? Let's make it blue. So, if we change that, and we right click in the middle and click create shape tween, it will give us a gradation from green to blue. That's quite nice. How about we also change the shape of it? Let's take this corner and move it down. How about we drag this one out like that? See what happens. Whoa, cool. And how about we also change the position, make it drop down like that. Whoa, nice. And we could also change the opacity, which we won't really be able to see unless there's something behind it. So how about we put something behind it? I'm going to put a black thing behind it. Okay. So to do the opacity change, there's a feature in the color under where it says hue, saturation, brightness, red, green, blue. There's this thing called A, and that stands for alpha. So however what the percentage is for this alpha will change the opacity. You won't be able to see it if it's selected, but when it's unselected you'll see what its opacity is. So let's put it all the way down to 0. So you can still see it here, but if you click outside, you won't be able to see it. So let's play. Whoa, it disappeared. Cool. Alright, okay, so when you're making a shape tween, you need to remember that it's basically taking the average of the different vector points that are in it. So you can't have two shapes that are completely different from each other, or else you'll get mistakes or weird things happen. Let me give you an example. Let's say I want to make a happy face, or let's make a sad face and turn it into a happy face. Let's see what happens. Oh my god. So what happened here is that the computer thinks that this is the right way to do it. It doesn't know that this is a mouth and this is also a mouth. It just sees points and then kind of averages out the points. So what we need to do is give it hints to hint at where we want it to morph. We can give it what's called shape hints. Go under modify, shape, add shape hint. So it gives us a little letter, and we move this around and attach it to a point on the shape. So I want to put one on the top of his eye, And then on the other frame, I want to put the same A on the top of his eye. So let's see what happens now. Oh, look at him. He's happy because he's properly tweening. If you wanted to add more, you can always add more. I'm going to click Control-Shift-H to add another shape hint. And I could stick it on maybe down here. And then I would have to do the same thing and put the other one where the other one is. Let's hope that it still works. Oh, God. Now, for some reason, he's still happy. So I'm just going to remove that shape hint and just kind of discard it. There we go. So sometimes shape hints are bad. I don't know why it was bad that time, but anyway, they work. But a better way that I work to control shapes is by not redrawing for the second thing, but just changing or altering the first image. So let me delete that. Alright, so let me give you an example of my method. Let's say that I want to make a stick figure slowly rise his arms up from down here to, say, oh god, to up here like that. So if I use a shape tween, I'm hoping that it messes up to prove that my method is better, and it looks like it sort of did. That's good. So instead of directly shape tweening from this frame to this frame, I'm going to shape tween from this frame to another version of itself, which I will use by clicking F6, and I will alter this version using the selection tool to drag points around so that it is as close to the final picture as I can. And I'm using the onion skin tool all the way out here so that I can preview the frames in between. So if I click shape tween, if I move this around, you'll see a trail. So if I see anything mess up in between, then I know that I did something wrong. So let's get started. Let's see. I'm going to move this up. I'm going to move this up. This is another point. This seems to correspond with his elbow right here, so I'm going to move that there. Move this here. Oh, and you see like some stuff going on around here, so I don't want that, so I'm going to click undo. I'm going to go up here. So it looks good. And move this up. Move this up. And when you start to not see it, I'm going to click this, and then you can kind of see the lines a little bit better. Oh, mess up. So you want it to match up as perfectly as possible. Other arm. Oop, don't want that. This is tricky, very tricky. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Alright, cool. Let's see how it looks. And I was fast forwarding through that if you couldn't guess. It looks okay. I mean, he does kind of get fat here, but you get an idea of the method that I use through that. So oftentimes this doesn't work. Like you might have too extreme of a motion that you might need like multiple tweens in between, like stepping stones to the motion. So I have a few examples of shape tweens used in my other animations, um, where I did the same procedure. So in Animator vs. Animation 3, there's one part where the stick figure jumps over the paperclip and it goes in slow motion, like that. So you see these are each individual frames, but once it goes up, this is a keyframe, this is a keyframe, and it just tweens between those. And then it goes to another keyframe, like that, and then another one, like that, and another one down here. See, his leg kind of distorts, but it's okay. And another example is in the explosions. Those are actually shape tweens. So if I open up this, you'll see I have quite a few shape tweens going on many different layers. See, you can't have like a shape tween with all of this tweening to another thing. It needs to all be the same color. So if I get rid of layers one by one, you'll see that they are all one color each. So I had to kind of build it up layer by layer. First do the back, and then I have this as the end, this as the beginning, and then I did the same technique that I was showing you earlier. Is I moved the points around here to make it as close to this as I could, so that's what I got. See, it's kind of jaggedy, but when you play it back, it looks really smooth. And then it turns kind of like poofy, cloudy, and then the next layer looks like that. The next layer looks like that, and then another layer, which I had to keep adding as they got more complex. And then after that, it was just frame by frame, like that. So if you become really good at this, then you can do this. Otherwise, it'll be really painful and hard. Also, you can notice that the color changes as it goes on, and these are actually using gradients, which I will cover later. But you can actually tween color gradients, and that's really cool. Another example from my corn animation, if you haven't seen it or have seen it, I use shape tweens to make a corn stalk grow, to make it look smooth. So that was actually even more complex than the explosion. If you open it up, as you can see, it's extremely annoyingly complex. Each leaf is its own shape tween. If I isolate them, this is the first leaf. Kind of just grows up like that. Second leaf, third leaf, fourth leaf, fifth leaf, sixth leaf, seventh leaf, and so on. And then you see these classic tweens are actually corn on the cob things that grow. Yeah, so that's how you can use shape tweens. And I hope you have fun using shape tweens. I definitely do not have fun. I'm just glad when they're over, because they're really unpredictable. I actually had to redo most of this tutorial over and over because it kept not doing what I wanted it to. But yeah, I hope you have fun with that. My name is Alan Becker. I will see you guys later.